like Podquest episode 2, because the last ones are flubs.
More or less.
Yeah. I'm one of your hosts, Zach Parrish. To my left is the man, the myth, the legend himself, Andrew Hutcherson.
Hello.
And to my right, the always lovely Alex Hall.
Hello.
No Pride of New Jersey today.
No.
Flaked out on us yet again.
Lloyd.
Constantly.
Lloyd, your listener today.
Oh, 2 listeners.
Shaking our fists at you. So, my topic, since I actually prepared one today, was a sort of question and general discussion. Why do you guys think video games or movies aren't scary anymore, or do you feel like they are?
Oh, it seems like I read that off IGN.
Yeah, it was on IGN, and that's what.
I didn't read it. I just saw the headline.
Yeah.
What was the question again?
Why are video games or movies not scary anymore?
They used to be. I can't think of. I'm trying to think of a scary video game.
Well, the example.
Dead Space.
I think they're scarier now than they were.
My experience with scary video games, my first one was Resident Evil, the original Resident Evil.
Resident Evil.
And then also with scary movies, you had movies like The Exorcist where people had to walk out in the middle of it because it was too scary, and you never hear about that anymore. And I was wondering if you guys thought, like, some of the things that they said is that people are getting desensitized.
That's what I was just about to say, because you got movies like the ones that are like that people think are crap, like the Omen movies that get rated like 2 stars on Netflix. And it's
Are we talking about the original or the remake?
New one, the remake?
Right.
I guess it's not a good example since it's the remake. I can't think of one. But movies like that like would have been scary in the 80s or maybe even early 90s that aren't scary now because people are so desensitized to it. Because we see there's such we're constantly inundated with brand new scary movies, and people are like, I've seen that before.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, and see, this is, I think, I just read the article, but I can't remember if this is what I read from the comments or from the article itself. But one of the points that was made was, are those really, like what you said, you've seen it before. It's not really doing anything new. It's not, like, if I scare you once by, like, jumping out from, a dark corner or something like that, it'll scare you. But if I do it like 5 times in a row, the exact same thing, you're going to expect it, and it's not going to be scary anymore. And the question is, are the publishers of these movies or games just not taking risks because they know what sells? Or is there just sort of like a stagnation in the industry in general, or are we just getting, desensitized? Because, like, for me, I remember being in my basement playing Resident Evil 3 with my friends, and they were walking up to the door, and they knew that there were zombies there. And they're like, you're going to tell me if there's zombies behind this door, right? Because I had already played it. And I was like, of course I'll tell you. And they're like, but there's zombies behind this door, and you're not telling me. And I was like, well, I mean, I wouldn't lie to you. And they're like, oh, okay. So then they, like, try to open the door, and 5 zombies, like, bum rush out of the door. And they jumped, like, 3 feet off the floor, sitting Indian style. It was legitimately terrifying. And I remember I was down there one time, and, like, the electricity went out while I was playing. Scared the shit out of me, and I stubbed my toes up every stair, running up the steps. And I don't know if that was necessarily because I was younger, or... I feel like those games were just legitimately more scary than... I don't know, like Dead Space. I really liked that genre, but I just didn't feel like those games were as scary as the older ones.
Did you think Resident Evil 4 was scary?
It had scary parts, but it's hard to say. It sort of created a new type of ambiance for a horror game, but no, I didn't feel like it was as scary as, say, Resident Evil 3.
Comparing any of them to 4 and afterwards, 4 and up took away that, I guess, like, fear of being alone and
survival.
Yeah, because like
it was more horror and not survival.
Yeah, because you remember everything before 4, you needed like those stupid ribbons for typewriters, and it was like they took that away and it never existed again. It was like
didn't they have ribbons for Resident Evil 4?
Mm-mm.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't think so. Oh, no.
I knew they had typewriters, which would make me think that they had ribbons.
They had typewriters, but not ribbons, I think is what it was. So you could save it anywhere typewriter, but in like Resident Evil, I'm trying to think, one I played recently.
I didn't play it after 5, or 4 rather.
0, which is before 4, was on the GameCube. It was an exclusive. And that one you needed ribbons. Like you could walk up to a typewriter and you don't have any ribbons. It's like, well, you gotta wait or backtrack because you probably missed one. And that was, no. I can't think of a video game or a movie that genuinely scared me. Maybe The Ring.
Yeah.
The Ring was creepy.
The Ring I think was scary, and also after I watched it, I remembered like 7 days after watching it the first time, I was looking over my shoulder all day, because it's like
all about
maybe.
That's what scares people is the environment. We've actually had this discussion at work. I think, because jumping out is going to scare anyone. It's not like you're going to give them nightmares. It's going to make them jump. But it's more special when a video game or movie has something that's gonna, when you turn it off, you're genuinely afraid to go upstairs to your bed.
Yeah, and I think that's sort of the difference between like reflexive fear or a reflex of fear, like jump scares. If something jumps out at you, it's going to scare you, and creating like a genuine terrifying atmosphere. And a lot of people didn't like these movies. Well, I'll speak only about the first one. The first Paranormal Activity movie, I thought was a very good, scary movie because it created an atmosphere, and the bad guy wasn't like a horrible, ugly monster that was cutting you up into little pieces and mysteriously dies at the end, whatever. It was an unstoppable force that you couldn't do anything to stop, and it was hurting your family, and you couldn't do anything about it. That to me is scary,
That's
it's the unknown.
In a perfect world, I know, money-wise, it would never work. But in a perfect world, it would have been amazing if they had just stopped at Paranormal Activity 1, because that movie would have been a cult classic forever.
Yeah,
people would have gone back to Paranormal, but. When you get to Paranormal Activity 4, it's like everybody knows this is going to happen. Everybody knows the door's going to slam or dishes are going to fall off the wall.
Right.
And it's like, in the first one, you didn't know that. In the first one, everybody just thought it was another scary movie. Then it's like, well, this is actually genuinely creepy.
Yeah. It's like going through the same haunted house over and over again.
Yeah.
Like you know
every
where
movie
the
is exactly the same.
Right.
And they just throw new elements in it. Like, I don't know which one I saw recently. I didn't see the newest one. It was like their origin story. Like the...
Of Paranormal
Did you see them? Have you seen them all?
No, I've only seen, I think, 2. The first 2.
No, I've seen 2. 2 is the one where it's the family in the house, right? It's all of them. It's like, and then they're after the baby.
Yeah.
The things that,
Yeah.
The third one is, because it's the 2 sisters. The first one is the first sister, and the second one is the second sister.
Right.
The third one is when they're kids.
Okay.
And, like I said, it just adds new things to it, but it's like, it's...
predictable.
Yeah. You knew it was going to happen.
Yeah. And I think that goes back to the point that someone made in the article about people just aren't taking risks anymore with what's scary.
And Paranormal Activity 1 was a huge risk. That movie cost what, like $5,000 to make?
Yeah.
It was ridiculous.
Yeah. But back to the video game discussion, I think that there are some scary video games that come out, but too few of them are actually like produced by a mainstream developer. Most of them are like
Dead
independent.
Space?
Yeah, like Dead Space, which I only like partially
Dead
consider
Space a
that.
first party game?
Yeah, EA.
That's what I thought. They are alone. It's just EA, isn't it?
I'm sure that there have been. Well, I mean, I guess you could consider the Resident Evil games. Capcom being a major developer. But what I was thinking about was sort of like, have you heard of the game Outlast? It's basically, I don't know if it's an indie developer because it's a lot better made than most indie games like the Slender Man game and whatnot.
I'm pretty sure it's an indie game because it and Amnesia are both. Amnesia is also an
Amnesia
indie game.
being another great example of at least we'll say not a AAA.
Yeah, okay, that's better.
But Outlast, I think, is one of the scariest games that I've seen in a very long time. Where basically what it is you're, I believe,
great concept.
Yeah, you're an investigative journalist, and you're going to this mental asylum for, I don't remember why, but whatever. So you get into the mental asylum, and there's corpses everywhere, and there's these weird, like, it looks like amateur surgery mutants that are like running the place and killing people, and they're all members of this weird cult. And there's this spectral entity called the Wall Rider that they're trying to, I guess, like bring forth out of the abyss and into our world. And in the game, you aren't like a superhero. You don't have a gun. You can't really even fight. Basically, you have to get away from them because like they're all weird mutants with like clubs or like one giant guy that'll rip your face off.
So you have no defense?
Right. Basically, all you do is like you run around with a camcorder that has night vision on it. So like if you're in the dark, you have to like, use night vision.
That is the
And, like,
only thing. That's the best aspect of that game. It's like there are some parts in that game where it's pitch black and that's all you have, and then you just see through this black and white lens.
Yeah.
And it has battery, and you
Yeah.
have to collect batteries throughout the thing. So if
Yeah.
you run out of battery, you're fucked.
So
Exactly.
you have. So all you do is run. So what's the object of the game?
You have to like
lasting
find
a certain amount of time.
No, you have to find, you have to solve the mystery, and like there might be like a certain, I guess, like scripted events that would allow you to fight back. Like say you walk around a corner and a guy jumps out and grabs you, and you can like struggle, and maybe he falls off of a balcony and like breaks his neck. So, okay, well, that guy died, but it wasn't really that you killed him. It's that you were in a life and death struggle, and you just happened to win.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things I really like about the game is they have, like, a hiding system. So, like, say that big guy is coming after you, and he's always coming after you, and, like, he calls you little pig. And so he'll be, like, wandering around, and he's like, where are you, little pig? And so,
creepy.
like, you have to hide in, like, lockers, and you're peeking out through the slits in the lockers, like, looking around.
Really?
Making sure he doesn't find you. And sometimes he'll open lockers, but he might, open the locker next to you and then, like, look under the bed and then walk away. Or other times he'll open up the locker that you're in and grab you and, like, throw you to the ground.
What?
It's terrifying.
I like the look of that game. I can't play either one of them, but I like.
It doesn't go by like a rubric. Like once you're in the locker, like a certain thing has to happen. There's just multiple variables. And
Yeah.
Like
if he
I like
sees you
that.
go into the room, then
See,
he's
that
gonna
makes
look
it
around.
scary.
Yeah.
Because it's not predictable.
Yeah,
You don't know what's going to happen like when in this certain situation.
Right.
That's
It's
cool.
not like you can exploit it and be like,
Wow,
oh, well, I
that's
know
awesome.
he's going to open this locker, and this locker, so I'm going to hide in this one. It's different every time.
When was this made?
It was, I think it just came out.
2013,
Yeah, it just came
Really?
out like middle of this year. And I don't own it, but you can download a free demo on Steam. But also the
Did
way
you play the demo?
I didn't play the demo, but I watched PewDiePie play it. So what
PewDiePie.
I'm going to do.
So bad. I can't stand it.
But what I'm going to do is I'm going to download the demo and then I'm going to make my friends play it and then watch them play it.
Why have you not played Gone Home yet? Go home, play
What is
Gone
it
Home.
called?
Play Gone
Go
Home.
home,
I'm not going to
play
tell you.
Gone Home.
I'm not going to tell you one thing about Gone Home.
Gone
I've seen a
Home.
whole playthrough. You need to play Gone Home.
Is it like an indie game? Like him?
Yes, but I can't. It's,
Do you have to
it's-
buy it or is it free?
Yeah, you have to buy it. It's like $2.
Okay.
Go home, buy it.
Okay.
Play Gone Home.
Gone Home. Got it. Plug. All right, so let's see. Did we talk enough about why games aren't scary? Oh, what do you guys think?
No. I don't think we ever talked enough.
When you talked about it more, as far as like movies go, I think they were scarier probably like in the 80s and 90s because they're new. Well, I mean, I guess the video then is like everything was coming out new because they had new technology and new things to make it scary. Now it's just, I think it's more predictable and like you said, we're seeing the exact same thing over and over and over again.
People thought the Halloween movie was very scary.
Right.
That's why they made like 7 of them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that
They
you
could've-
try to make that now, like it's
Well,
more
they
just
did.
like I know,
Rob
but it's more
Zombie.
just feel like I want to go see gore.
Yeah.
But like back then, it was like people were actually scared of
I don't
Michael
like
Myers.
scary movies or scary anything.
It just
Really?
depends.
I don't like the noises. Like if it has really good like movies and stuff like that split. I don't know, just what do you call that? Like that loud like bang and be like quiet.
Oh, like a jump scare?
Like a jump scare. Is that what it's
Yeah.
called?
See that I hate that just because
Hate
it's just
those.
Yeah,
it's
like,
like gimmicky.
that's-
Like
What was the movie?
It kills my back because like I just feel like adrenaline.
Insidious.
I heard good things about Insidious.
No, it's only
Really?
jump
I heard
scares.
good things
Really?
about it.
It's only jump
That
scares.
sounds like a horrible movie.
It's terrible because like they have this really annoying. I guess it's like some string instrument. Maybe I'm
Oh, yeah, he
remembering
plays
it's like
it,
a
yeah.
no.
Or I
It's
thought
like
they
a
were-
violin, and they're you can tell the bow is just like going at like a feverish pace, and it's just like this really annoying sound,
See,
and it'll like build up and build up and build up,
see
and then
that's what I don't like. It's,
when it gets a crescendo, you know that something's about to happen, and of course something jumps out, and the lady screams, and it's really close zoomed in, and it's like this isn't scary. This is just annoying.
Isn't that like an Omen ripoff? Insidious? Isn't he like the son of the devil or something
no,
like that?
No, the story is that they're the father and the son are both sleepwalkers. And when they sleepwalk, or not sleepwalkers, they're like astral projectionists. They can send their spirit into the realm of the dead, and they don't realize that it's the realm of the dead. They just think it's a dream world.
What is that? A spoiler for the movie? Did you spoil the movie?
Oh, spoiler! Well, I mean, you're not missing anything.
Do you remember when that line right there was like huge? Like when The Sixth Sense came out, and it had never really been done before. Like, oh, he was dead the whole time. Spoiler if you haven't seen The Sixth Sense. I don't know what's wrong with you.
Right.
But, like, and now everybody does it. Like, everybody's like, oh, they were dead the whole time?
Yeah.
Do you remember the last season of Roseanne? Did you ever watch Roseanne?
I did.
A few episodes.
That's what it is. Like, the season before the last season, Dan has the heart attack.
Yeah.
And then they go on to the next season. But in the last episode of the last season, Roseanne was like, I lost Dan last year. I was like, so what the fuck was this whole season about? Like, Dan was really dead, and it was like Roseanne imagining what she wanted that last year to be.
Wait, so the last season?
Wow,
like,
really?
Dan died in the second to last season.
Right, and then Dan's in, like, the actor is, or what's his name? John Goodman's in that
the
last season.
But at the end of
But you find that he was never really alive. This was all just, like,
he
fake.
died, yeah. The figment.
And that's how that was the last episode of the series.
Really, Roseanne?
In the last episode of the series, like the last 2 minutes, Roseanne's walking around and was like, I lost Dan last year to his heart attack. And then she, like, sits on the couch, watches TV, and that's how it ends.
What?
Show went on for, 7 seasons? Like, that show was on for a long time. I saw that on the, top 7, worst series endings.
Yeah.
It was on up there with dinosaurs.
Mm-hmm. How did that one end? Did it get hit by a comet?
No, it was I never watched Dinosaurs.
I loved that show.
From what I gathered,
I watched it last week for 3 hours.
Listener, we got to explain this. Before the podcast started, Zach was complaining because Alex and I were saying that we were members of a different generation than Zach is, because we remembered playing Oregon Trail and Number Munchers, and he said he's in the same generation. But if he hasn't seen dinosaurs
I've seen
and
it.
hasn't
I know
played
what
Number
it is.
Munchers, then you are not a member of this generation, sir.
You'll have to watch it, and I'm going to totally just destroy it here because because I've never seen it because I couldn't gather. But
what's the ending?
Okay, so
spoiler alert.
From what I gathered, so fast forward 5 minutes. From what I gathered, it was I'm going to butcher it right now, okay? So be prepared. Did he work at an ice plant or something at a refrigerator company?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I think it was plumbing.
Something to do with cold.
Uh-huh.
And from what I gathered, something went wrong and it was his fault.
Mm-hmm.
And there was an ice age and he caused it. And,
wow, really?
But in the last episode, this was like a kid's show, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, in the last episode, they're talking, the baby can talk, apparently.
Yeah.
Full sentences.
He talked right when it came out.
Not the mama. That's what he said.
But she was like, are we gonna, or she, he, it.
It's like, boy.
Are we gonna be okay? And the little dorky teenage sister is like, it doesn't matter, we'll be together, forever. And it's the teenage boy's like, it'll be okay. And then it cuts, and then it goes to a newscast, and it's the dinosaur news anchor, and he's like, the weather's pretty bad out there, and it's not getting any better. And then it goes to black, and that's how it ends. It's everybody died.
Wow. That movie
and they told the baby it would all be okay.
Yeah, it's like The Last of Us. Spoiler alert.
I had the biggest crush on the boy.
The dinosaur?
Yeah. A really
in real life or the dinosaur? The giant animatronic puppet.
Yeah.
Yes.
Who blinked like a ride at Disney World.
They looked like there was people in the suits.
Mm-hmm.
They looked animatronic to me.
No. To me, their eyebrows go up and down, and they look like they're really good for being animatronic.
Yeah, the faces were, the heads were animatronic, but they were...
Were they, or was there some guy in the thing, pulling
as far
rods?
as movement goes, I'm pretty sure there was a person.
It's like the Ninja Turtles movies,
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Where it was actors with animatronic heads.
In their mouths, that's how they would talk.
Okay, whoa. You're talking about, the third movie. The first movie was really good. The second movie was decent.
Talking about Secret of the Ooze.
No, that was the second movie.
That was a pretty...
Not the Chinese one or whatever.
Vanilla Ice was in
whatever.
It was. Ninja Rap.
That was
my jam.
I liked that episode.
Movie,
sorry. I used to be really big fan of Ninja Turtles. Like I watched the cartoons. Like
Oh no, the
my
cartoons are the
VHS
shit.
tapes
I'll still
were
the new one's pretty
done.
good. Have you ever watched the new
I've
one?
not watched
It's pretty
the
good. It's
new
not bad.
No, you can't accept the new one.
Okay, you can't just say new is worse, or else I wouldn't read New 52, and then my life wouldn't be the same as
Is
I
it
know.
predictable?
The
New
cartoon.
52 or New Ninja Turtles?
New Ninja Turtles.
I mean, it's just it's a kids show, so yeah, pretty much. I mean, they
I
always
feel like
get
they
out
made
in the
it
end.
more like kiddie. Back
Yeah.
then, it wasn't kiddie. It was
Well,
more
no,
like,
but those shows back then were. You talk about the X-Men animated series, which is TVY7. That
Well,
is
I think the funny thing about the original Ninja Turtles was that there was so much product placement. Like they hoard that
Was there?
series out
I don't
so
remember.
bad, but it was so good anyway. I loved it.
But yeah, that was what like
Are
the
you talking
game, the
about the
arcade
cartoon
game.
or movies?
Well, I mean, just everything about the Ninja Turtles franchise. Like, I believe they had Ninja Turtles that rode John Deere tractors. You know,
Really?
like the toys. Yeah, they came with like John Deere tractors and.
That is ridiculous.
I think it was either Pizza Hut or Domino's. Like they had the
Probably
pizza
Hut.
parlor. You know,
Oh yeah.
all kinds.
That
of
was
stuff.
like one of the biggest shows then, so it's
Sure.
like everybody wanted to jump on that train.
Yeah.
Product placement isn't as
Have
not as
you
big now. It's
have you heard about the new Ninja Turtles that's on like Nickelodeon? Or
That's what I'm talking
something? Oh, is that what you're talking
Yeah.
about?
it's on Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network, I think.
Is
no,
it a cartoon?
yeah, it is, but it's more like Japanese style cartoon, and they have like the
Big
like,
eyes. And
they
like
hit kind of, but then they have like they'll hit something and it'll be like smack. Or
Oh,
like,
yeah?
or they'll like
Elijah
have a
Wood's
surprise
one of the-
look, and there'll be
one
like
of the-
exclamation
Yeah.
points all over him.
I'm pretty sure it's Elijah Wood. It's either Elijah Wood or Sean Ashton. It was one of the two big ones from Lord of the Rings. I'm pretty sure it's Elijah Wood. And then it's the guy who used to play Raphael.
How bad is their drug problem that they need to be on the Ninja Turtles?
And then it's the guy that used to play Raphael. He now plays Donatello. But he played Raphael in
What?
the original animated series. He plays Donatello now.
The fuck? What? That's like the no.
You mean he should have always been Raphael?
Yes. First of all, Raphael is my favorite.
Raphael's everybody's favorite.
No.
Or
Lots of
Leonardo.
people like-
It's
lots of
Raphael,
people like,
Leonardo.
What? Michelangelo's my
Oh, man.
favorite.
Oh, boo.
Michelangelo's a big
He
crowd
was
favorite.
like, he's my favorite.
I have
He
said
was always
Leonardo
my
is my
favorite.
favorite.
And orange
Did
was like
anybody-
my favorite color too.
Did anybody like Donatello?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I liked him.
Stupid stick.
What do you think? Donatello was the smart one.
Yeah.
Plus, in the video game,
And he was like the techie one, and I liked that he was like
I was
that. He was
always
probably
Leonardo in the
he was
video
probably
game.
my second favorite.
I'm talking about the NES video game.
It's
He
the
was
one.
so
It was ported
cheap.
from the arcade.
No,
Cheap.
no,
Yes,
no,
huh?
no,
It
no.
was-
Okay, hang on.
Bullshit. It
Hang
was
on.
ported from the arcade.
Listen, you're talking about the arcade beat 'em up game.
Yes.
Right? No, I'm talking about
What?
like the top-down RPG game.
No, there was no such
Yes,
thing.
there is.
Well, okay,
And
I wanna see
Donatello
this.
was the cheapest motherfucker because like his bow staff would cover half the screen. So like every Ninja Turtle was like GIMP compared to Donatello in that game.
Really?
Yeah.
Not NES, not SNES.
NES. Yeah. Original NES. There it is, right there.
No. Oh, it's like a platformer.
Yeah, but it also had
Maybe I do
top-down
remember.
RPG.
Maybe I do
elements.
remember. Where?
Like right there. No,
This
no,
is
no.
what I'm talking about.
No, that's the arcade game, which was amazing. This is like you have to walk around in the like water district and go down in the sewers and go in different buildings and stuff. It looked just like Zelda, only in a city, obviously.
Huh.
And it was really bad. Like I'm pretty sure they had really bad English for like the captions and stuff. You know?
All your base art belong to us.
Yeah, yeah.
What is that from?
It's from a I forget the
Old
name. of it.
NES game.
Yeah, it's like a space fighter.
Mhm.
It was like I can't remember what it was called. It's like Zig or something, or maybe that was the name of your ship. I don't remember.
You see me trying to click this?
But yeah, that was the worst.
It's been played on for so long. Like
All
people
your
put
boys.
it. Yeah. I'm trying not to type so fast because.
A1,
English.
I don't know. Zero Wing, that's what it's called.
Mm.
And I think the name of your ship was a Zig.
Mm. But yeah. Oh, what's your favorite video game of all time? Like, if you had to pick one.
I honestly, I don't know. I'm always terrible at picking like my favorite anything. I don't know. Maybe tell me yours and I'll be able to think of one.
man, I wish I had more time to think. I don't want to. Whenever I say this game, it's like people when you ask people like their favorite album of all time, and half the people say Abbey Road just because. But like Final Fantasy VII is on up there.
Yeah.
You know? That game is hard to beat. You know.
You're talking about best video game?
Mm-hmm.
I'm a huge JRPG fan, so that's probably why. I liked Final Fantasy 13, even though a lot of people didn't.
My favorite. Now, are we talking about franchises or individual games?
You can say franchise. I wouldn't say Final Fantasy if I was saying franchises.
I don't know. I'd say that probably the franchise that I played the most would be the Elder Scrolls franchise, but I wouldn't say that those are my favorite games because they're like very, very major flaws in all of the Elder Scrolls
Have
games.
you played Morrowind?
Yeah, I loved
Golly, Morrowind is unplayable.
No, it was I loved that game when it came out.
It
doesn't age well.
Have you played there's an overhaul mod. Have you played that?
There's two. There's there's one for Oblivion called like.
I don't think Oblivion really needed to be overhauled. I thought that was.
But no, what I'm talking about is they put Morrowind in Oblivion. It's called like More Oblivion, and then there's another one called Skywind, I think, or something.
Morrowind's going to be in the next Elder Scrolls game.
Yeah.
Are
you talking about the Elder Scrolls Online?
I'm pretty sure it's Morrowind, Oblivion, and
it's
Tamriel. All of Tamriel.
Yeah, all of Tamriel.
That's awesome. I'm gonna get that for the.
I played in the beta.
PS4.
I played in the beta, and it wasn't that impressive.
For what?
For Elder Scrolls Online.
I don't even know the beta. It's not out on what?
Yeah.
I thought the beta was exclusive to the PS4.
No.
Maybe console-wise it is.
Maybe. But I mean, I got an invite for a weekend, and it sucked because I work Friday, double Saturday, and double Sunday, and the servers were only open Friday night to Saturday night.
Oh, that sucks.
So yeah, I got to play like maybe 2 hours.
You didn't like it?
Well, I mean, I only got to play 2 hours, but it I don't know. It just didn't impress me that much. Maybe I just haven't had enough time with it.
I thought it was pretty much just like Skyrim.
It's similar, but not. No.
How not? I heard is the combat different?
Yes.
How is that? What's different about it?
It's based on like skills, you know, like you hit a button and then you do a skill that's on a cooldown. So sort of like like if you ever played Guild Wars.
Yeah, like an okay.
Yeah, yeah. It plays more like the combat's more like an MMO.
But I don't like that on console.
But then, like they also have some of the more nuanced tropes where it's like you can have an active blocking system where like an enemy will do a power move and you can block it, or you can dodge, or you can do like a shield bash to stun them or something.
But are the basic attacks, are they still cooldown? Like I play DC Universe Online and like the punch, you can just spam that all you want. You're not going to do a lot of damage, but you don't have to wait for the punch to reload. But all your abilities they're on a cooldown.
Yeah, I think that's the way it is.
Okay, that's not too bad. Because I mean, you talk about all those moves being on
sort of like,
on console.
Did you ever play Diablo?
Yeah, religiously.
Diablo 3 or Diablo 2 or anything like that. It's like that where you can auto attack all you want and then you can like do your abilities that are on cooldown.
Yep.
Yeah.
Man, that's a good game. That needs to be mentioned in best games of all time.
Oh wait, what are you talking about?
Diablo 2.
Oh, okay, yeah.
We'll load Diablo 2 up right now and play it.
Like I'm pretty sure that game is going to still sell for like $50.
Yep, it's $30 at Walmart right now. That game came out like 1994.
Yeah, and you know Diablo 3 is going to be like discounted into Oblivion. So.
See, I have Diablo 3 on console, and it's not so bad because a lot of people had problems with the PC version because of the auction house and all that crap.
The problems I had with it had nothing to do with it being on PC.
You had problems with the replayability, I thought.
Exactly. It was boring.
Yeah, it is crazy going back and playing Diablo 2, and even it's having 2 save files, and it's almost like the whole world's reversed.
Yeah.
Like you're going a different way than you went before.
Mm-hmm.
Diablo 3's not like that.
Diablo 3 is just the same like 4-hour experience over and over and over again.
Yeah, which I've only done one playthrough, and that's it right there. It's like I don't want to go back. It's not like it's the same thing I just did.
Yeah.
So yeah, do you have a favorite video game, Alex?
All my favorite video games. I like.
You seem like a kart racer, platformer kind of girl.
Yeah, I do like racing, but I don't know. Most of the video games when I used to play, I think most of the video games now are like scary-ish and action mostly, and that's not like one of my types of games that I used to play. But when you don't like Sega, do you? Or
not particularly. Was Sonic one of your favorite games?
I mean, it was.
Shaking your head.
Sonic was the first game I owned. I love Sonic.
It was probably up there. Most of the games, I would say, those are my favorite games. Just older games because they were newer then. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like they were
And
better.
like a sense of wonder.
Yeah, yeah. So that's probably why I would pick like older games as probably my favorite games.
Older games are classics. It's ridiculous how spoiled we are now. Like, everything has to be open world. Everything has to have multiple endings. And everything has to have a new game plus. Like, every time I finish a game, I'm like, okay, what'd I get?
Yeah.
And this is like, you play on the N64, it's like, that's what you got. You can start a new game on a new file. That's about all you can do.
Yeah.
But, like, a game is a flop if it doesn't have a new game plus.
Or, it could be like, the original Mario 64, where it's like, you can beat the game, but until you have, like, what was it, 101 stars?
Oh,
or
yeah.
100 stars, you haven't really beat Mario.
I thought you got something for doing all that. Like, you got, like, a mirror world or something like that.
You got, like,
all
the shittiest Yoshi ever on top of the castle. Like, you could, like, take a cannon up to the top of the castle, and Yoshi'd be there, all, like, 14 pixels of him. And
Could you ride him?
no, you could only talk to him.
What?
And I don't even think he had anything to say. I think he just sort of, like, made Yoshi sounds. Yeah.
I think Mario Kart's probably one of my top favorites as well. Mostly on Nintendo 64.
Yeah. I really liked the Mario Party games.
I never played those. I always
Oh my
wanted
gosh,
to.
they're so good.
They're so fun, but
what do
like
you do?
Nothing.
It's like
It's
a
like-
board game, and you have a board game, and you're like trying to go around and collect coins, and then like buy stars with the coins. And the way you win is whoever has the most stars at the end of the game wins. But after everyone does
Is
like
there obstacles as well?
yeah,
Okay.
like every board has like crazy like
That sounds
unique
fun.
stuff about it. It's
He hasn't
really
even told
fun.
you the best part.
Yeah. So like after every round, when everyone gets to roll, then there's mini games, and whoever wins the mini games wins 10 coins. And there's also really fun ways to like backstab your friends. So like you could land on like back in the day it was you could pass Boo, and you could pay Boo 50 coins, and Boo would steal your friend's star and give it to you. And it's like, my friends won't play it with me anymore because they say it's like a socialist game, and like basically the rule is like I'm the head of the socialist party, so I always win. So like my friend would have like 500 coins and like 10 stars, and then something would happen and he'd lose all of his stars, and like I'd get half of his coins. So it's just like really fun ways to be like evil and like screw over your friends right when they're on the verge of ultimate victory.
The game has a lot of depth.
So kind of like laser tag.
Yes.
the mini games are the best part.
Yeah.
My favorite mini games are the ones where it's like 1 versus 3, where it's
Yeah.
like one person, like the ones where like the only one I can remember off the top of my head is like there's like a plane, and one person can like move the plane, and the other 3 are like tiny, and they're trying to run around and collect stuff, and then your job is to like make them tilt and fall off. And it's like I really like those games.
And there was one where like
Why haven't we played that? They have it on the Wii, don't they?
yeah, I didn't like the Wii one very much because it was too gimmicky. Like
well, yeah.
they were trying too hard to sell the Wiimote. Like the one that I liked the most that I can recall, I think was 3 or 4. It was like the last one
On the N64?
On the N64, because it did.
Mario Party 5 was on
The
N64.
first 2 were like horrible. They were great games, but they punished you so bad that there were like games where you'd have to like row a boat, and the only way you could row was you had to spin the joystick.
Yeah.
But the joystick on the original N64 controller was a really hard ridged plastic.
Mhm.
So kids would like burn holes in their palm from spinning it so much that they actually started selling Mario Party gloves that were padded on the palm so that you wouldn't shred your palm when you were playing. So Mario Party 3 got rid of that. But like I still own, I think it's Mario Party 8 or something, which was the last one
On the Wii?
the last one on GameCube.
Oh,
And that
yeah.
one's really good.
I bet the GameCube one's good. 'Cause
Yeah.
there's no gimmicks for
There's
that.
like, I guess there's 5 on the GameCube.
I can't remember.
Or 4. 4 through 8 are on the GameCube, I believe.
It always baffles me that the GameCube didn't sell. There's so many good games.
It was such a good console. Like, I hated the console. I didn't want to buy it until I think it was Resident Evil 4 came out. I bought a Wii for
That was
Resident
what it was.
Evil 4.
That's what it was. It was Resident Evil 4 that sold that console.
Yeah.
It was Resident Evil and Melee.
Yeah.
And those are the 2 games right there.
Yeah.
I mean, it launched with Super Mario Sunshine, I think, and that game sucked.
I don't think...
Did it not launch with
I don't
it?
think
No, it
Sunshine
launched with
like Pikmin.
Pikmin, and then there was the other one, the egg one. Oh, man. Where you were like a chicken. Billy Hatcher. Billy Hatcher the Giant Egg, it launched with...
I don't remember.
That's what it launched with. It launched with Pikmin, too. Pikmin was a great game.
Yeah, I never played Pikmin, but I really
good.
like it. I really like Olimar and Super Smash Brothers.
Why?
Because I kicked your ass with them at the
Oh, did you? I don't even remember that.
No,
Throwing
I
your
did.
little balloon.
Oh, I do.
Hannah always called them balloons.
Yeah.
Why does he got balloons with
There's
him?
there's a patch. I might have mentioned this. There's a patch for
You can put patches on Wii games?
yes. Like apparently
Like an
there's
SD card? What do you use?
Apparently there's like a modding community for
What?
the Wii. Yeah. And like they patched Super Smash Bros. Brawl to include the old Melee characters. So like you have Roy and Mewtwo, and I think there's like a couple other
I thought
characters.
Roy was in Brawl.
Mm-mm.
Just Marth?
Martha is, but not Roy.
Mm.
But also they did lots of balance changes, and one of the cool things that they added lots of like custom levels and custom like costumes for characters. But one of the really cool things that they did for Samus in particular is they made it so I think you could like hit the D-pad and change what her weapon was. Like,
like from the game.
yeah, so like she could do like a fire
Yeah.
weapon, an ice weapon, an electricity weapon,
That should
and
have
a
been
missile
in there
weapon.
from the beginning.
I know. There's like tons of stuff where it's like, why didn't they think of that? But it's called Project M, and apparently it's really easy to mod. Like all you need, like you said, is a SD card, not a micro SD, like a normal SD card.
Whatever fits in that backwards ass console.
Yeah, I have one too, and so I plan on modding it and just playing around with it. I think it'd be fun.
On the video game note, Lloyd said he doesn't play a lot of video games, does he?
I don't remember.
When's his birthday? It's in February, right?
I have no idea.
I'm gonna get him a Vita.
Yeah.
Everybody needs a
I
Vita.
think it's like the first,
I'm gonna get him a
because
Vita.
it's close to Brandy's.
Everybody needs a Vita. You guys should get one. I'm gonna get you guys
my
one too.
uncle.
When's your
My
birthday?
uncle has one.
PlayStation Vita?
He likes it a lot.
When's your birthday?
It's the 16th of October.
Oh,
Shit.
Yeah.
Why didn't you tell anybody? You could have gotten a Vita.
I don't like. I don't like to.
Oh, you're gonna get a Vita.
Publicize.
I'll give you one the same time I give Lloyd one.
October 16th. Was there like a thing for your birthday? Did we go to Sam's or something?
I think the.
We did. I remember it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did something.
You do your thing. That's what I thought you were doing. I think that happened on my birthday.
Did it?
Yeah, my birthday thing. I think I didn't tell anybody until like the day before I think we went the day of my birthday out.
Yeah.
Because I didn't tell anybody, and my mom came that day with like cupcakes and like not cupcakes, a cake and
I mean,
ice cream.
Telling people is
And I
not
was
like
like,
asking
"Mom."
for gifts. You're just like telling people.
I know. I just don't like.
Ooh.
I mean, I'm not gonna be like, oh, it's my birthday, guys, and then I don't want like everybody to be like, happy birthday from like
Just my
20.
hug.
But I don't
Yeah.
really talk about it.
We're all gonna get Vitas.
All right.
All right. I heard it's really good though.
I love the Vita.
I can never find the games though. I've been like as far as like looking in. They have like a little tiny section in like game
Yeah,
stores.
you can't get them. Don't get don't. I don't own one Vita card because they're just ridiculous. I don't own any.
So you can download them, I assume?
Yeah, but
And
you
you
need
can't
a.
get them at like Walmart at all either. So,
Yeah, I'll get you guys memory cards because it
I mean,
comes
I
with
don't
a
have
4
one.
gig. You know, I'm not getting you one because you're being real snarky about
Okay.
it.
You don't have to give me one either. So
Fine, Lloyd will just get one,
Alright.
and you guys can all suck it.
Yeah.
okay.
I just got my brother one a few months ago. He didn't have one.
How much do they cost around?
You can't play Pokemon on a Vita.
Oh God. I would never buy like a 3DS.
I never watched.
I don't know
I
what
never
3DS
got into
250.
Pokemon or watched it. I was around during that time, but I just never got into it.
Not
I think
even
I
the
watched.
cards?
I think I watched.
Especially
No.
not the cards. The cards are the worst.
Well, I mean, I know plenty of people that
Yeah.
never played the games but owned the trading cards just because it was like the thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I played Magic when it was out,
Yeah.
like the first.
I
year.
played the shit out of some Yu-Gi-Oh though. Oh my gosh.
I played that a couple. Yeah,
Religion.
played
I
it a
love
lot.
that game.
It's a good game.
But the Vita's $250.
Well, it's not bad for a little handheld.
They just got a price cut. It used to be $300.
I was trying to look for an Adventure Time game for my uncle because he loves Adventure Time.
There is an Adventure Time game, but I don't know if it's on Vita.
It isn't. No.
It's called.
He has a PS3 as well, and I'm sorry, and I think I got him that one for the Adventure Time game on PS3 instead of the Vita that he has, but they don't have it on Vita. They don't have any of the Adventure Time games.
Wow, Vita.
Wow,
Sony. Nice little handheld console.
Oh, they'll stop making games for it because it's not. It's just.
Oh, did they stop?
No. I'm sure that they will. Not at least not like the AAA games like Uncharted and I guess Tearaway counts. Just because it's for the PS4 now.
Yeah.
You know, people aren't going to want it for. Developers aren't going to make games for it, which is odd because more people are going to own it because of remote play.
Mm-hmm.
But I just don't think they'll want Vita games. I think they'll just want more PS4 games.
Do you think it's another typical Nintendo bad move for them to keep trying to sell like the 3DS with basically ports of Wii U games? Like I know the new Smash Brothers is going to be on Wii U and on 3DS.
Their biggest mistake was putting that on 3DS.
Mm-hmm.
That's
what on 3DS?
Smash. That's a horrible, horrible idea.
Yeah.
Because people are going to keep buying 3DS. Those things sell like hotcakes. Nobody's bought the Wii U. Why would you? Why?
Smash. I will end up buying a Wii U for Super Smash Brothers.
But people would if they didn't already have a 3DS. And the 3DS at the end of the year outsold Xbox 360. It was still outselling it because people want the 3DS.
Sure.
So don't put Smash on the 3DS, the console that's already selling, if you've got a console that's
it's going
fledgling.
on the Wii U as well.
I know, but it's not only on the Wii. It needs to be exclusive.
People.
It needs to, because people, if they already have a 3DS, they're not going to buy a Wii U. But if they have a 3DS and they know they're not getting Smash, they're going to buy a Wii U.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if they've been Nintendo fans for a long time. But the Wii U off-put a lot of Nintendo fans. And what they need to do is get rid of the Wii U completely, which they won't do because that'll lose them a shitload of money, and just make a new handheld console. And make it, put it in HD. You can attach it to your TV if you want to do like a remote play thing, and that's a great idea.
I still think Penny Arcade's idea for the Wii U game that I was telling you about the other day.
The Dungeons and Dragons?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I think, okay, so this is, like, Penny Arcade is a webcomic that I read. Mm-hmm. And one of their ideas that they came up with for a Wii U game is basically you're playing Dungeons and Dragons, and 3 or 4 people have the Wiimote, and they're the adventurers, and, you know, they're questing in the dungeon, and they're, you know, doing whatever. And then you have the one player with the tablet, and you know all of this is projected on the screen. Mm-hmm. And the one player with the tablet is the dungeon master, and they have like a map on the tablet, and they can like put treasures or traps or control the monsters or the NPC, the non-player character dialogue, whatever, all from their tablet. That's a fucking incredible idea. That would be so fun. Just make like a tabletop game on a game system.
So you pretty much are like God controlling the
game
and what all the players and...
Yeah, you're the dungeon master. You're controlling the adventure.
That sounds like your kind of game.
Yes, yes. And actually, like, this morning, I was sitting, eating breakfast, eating waffles, and I was just like, I'm going to make a tabletop game. And so I just, like, opened up a Word document, and I'm trying to make, like, a zombie survival horror Dungeons and Dragons type game, where basically, you know, you have 3 different types of people, and I don't want to talk about it too much because I don't want the listener to steal my idea. Fuck you, listener. I take that back. I'm sorry, baby. I didn't mean it. Anyway, so like you have 3 classes. You know, that's what I came up with right now. So you have like the like Doomsday Prepper, who's like, you know, got tons of like weapons and skills or whatnot. Then you have the stoner who knows lots about zombies and stuff and isn't as strong or as smart. And then you have like your attorney, your defense attorney, who is really smart but doesn't have a lot of like strength or willpower or something like that. And you know, just sort of like I don't want to go in, but yeah.
That sounds awesome.
I'm working on it right now, so I'm gonna make a tabletop zombie survival.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. We're eating cookies, listener. Everyone but Alex.
Yeah, it's okay.
You don't eat my cookies?
No, it's okay. Thank you, though.
I made those.
Did you? That
Good.
almost like changes my mind, but not enough to
Change your mind.
They're a little stale. Yeah.
almost close.
Right.
I bet they're good though.
They are good.
Good.
You'll never know.
I'm not a big
Just
sugar
kidding.
cookie fan. so-
Me either. But we had cookie dough, and then I got home kinda early last night.
I would have stopped and got some chocolate chip cookies.
Oh, I don't like chocolate chip cookies.
At least chocolate chips.
Yeah, I don't like chocolate chip cookies at all.
Don't they make like caramel, like little chips as well?
Make it worse.
Yeah.
I don't like caramel.
The best cookies
I'm
I've
not a
ever
big caramel
had.
fan, but I bet that's good.
Candy apples are the worst.
Best cookie I've ever had. They're called boyfriend cookies. You can look them up on like Pinterest.
I've
or
heard of
whatever.
it.
Pinterest.
Yeah.
Oh, who's talking about Pinterest now?
Well, I don't
I know,
have a
which is-
Pinterest.
Me either.
So, liar. Anyway, but they're like you make them yourself, and like I guess like part of the stuff that makes the cookies taste so good is you use Jell-O pudding when you're making the cookies. You know.
I've heard of that. Maybe, I'm almost thinking those have been made in this house because everything you're saying is
Maybe.
like I've heard of this.
But then, like, you put, like, white chocolate chips and regular chocolate chips, and you can put, like, peanut butter chips or whatever in there. And they're really, really good. But they're
Who
really
make you-
expensive to make.
Why are
too,
they called boyfriend cookies?
Because they've got everything a growing boyfriend needs to get.
Sweet,
like,
sweet, sweet.
Yeah.
Growing.
Yeah.
And peanut butter.
Peanut butter.
My mom, she usually makes all of her cookies instead of butter. She uses applesauce, and that's every cookie that she makes, or muffins. Like that's what she puts in it instead of butter, and it's so good. But she makes it like gluten-free as well. I feel like Jessica should have been here for this podcast because she will talk about food all day. That's all she posts on Facebook is food. It's insane.
Really?
Yeah.
There's a hair on this cookie and I cannot get it off. Anyways, does anybody else have anything interesting to say? We talked about video games and movies for 20 minutes. I am fine.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, this is the end. So until next time.